Have you ever thought your child could get trapped in something dangerous and you wouldn't even notice until it's too late? I'm a father, and a few months ago, I discovered something that shook my entire world. My son had joined a sect. At first, nothing seemed strange. He became more quiet, more focused on his phone, and often said he was meeting new friends. I thought, great, he's finally socializing. But then he started avoiding family dinners, locking his room, and even stopped talking about school. One night, I walked past his room and overheard him whispering strange phrases, almost like prayers, but not the kind I recognized. That's when my gut screamed, something's wrong. I wanted to believe it was just teenage rebellion. But no, this was deeper. The next morning, I asked him directly, "Son, what's going on? Who are these people you keep meeting?" He looked me dead in the eye and said, "Dad, you wouldn't understand. They're helping me find the truth." My heart sank. The truth? What truth? I started noticing more things. Strange books hidden under his bed, messages from people with no profile pictures, and little envelopes with money inside. I asked myself, what kind of friends give a teenager money? That's when I realized my son wasn't just hanging out with new people. He was being pulled into something dangerous, something that wanted to control him. I couldn't sit still anymore. That evening, when he came home later than usual, I decided to confront him. "Son, listen," I said, trying to keep calm. "I know you've been spending time with some unusual people. Who are they really?" He didn't even flinch. Instead, he smiled, a strange, unsettling smile. "Dad, they're not unusual. They're enlightened. They've shown me the real path. You've been blind your whole life." Blind? Me? For a moment, I thought he was joking, but his tone was deadly serious. He sounded like someone else was speaking through him. My own kid, my boy who used to play football in the yard, was now talking like a stranger. And in that moment, I realized this wasn't just rebellion. This was brainwashing. That night, I couldn't sleep. I opened my laptop and started digging. What kind of sects operate in our area? Who targets teenagers? The deeper I went, the scarier it got. They prey on kids who feel misunderstood, offering them family, truth, and purpose. They promise answers to all life's questions, but in reality, they strip kids of their independence, money, and even identity. Reading all this, my blood ran cold. My son was in danger, and if I didn't act fast, I could lose him completely. The question was, how do you fight a sect without pushing your child even deeper into it? A few days later, I decided to follow him. I waited until he left the house, then quietly tailed him from a distance. My heart was pounding like crazy, half from fear, half from guilt. He ended up in an old building on the edge of town. From the outside, it looked abandoned. But when the door opened, I saw lights, candles, and about 20 people inside. They were chanting something, all in unison. I'll be honest, my legs nearly gave out. Seeing my son step inside that circle, I felt like I was losing him in real time. And you know what the scariest part was? Everyone inside looked so normal, smiling, calm, friendly. The kind of people you'd never suspect of anything sinister. That's how they trap you. That night, when he came home, I tried again. "Son, listen to me. Those people, they're dangerous. They're not your friends." He got angry, furious. "Actually, you don't know anything, Dad. They care about me. They listen, not like you." Those words hit me like a punch to the chest. Was I really such a bad father? Did I make him feel unseen? But I couldn't let my guilt distract me. I knew this wasn't my son speaking. It was the sect's voice coming through him. And if I didn't do something soon, I might lose him forever. I felt cornered. Every conversation ended in shouting. Every attempt to explain only pushed him further away. I started to doubt myself. Maybe I was overreacting? Maybe it was just some youth club, and I was making it worse. But then I got a phone call from his teacher. "Your son hasn't been coming to classes. He's failing everything. Is everything okay at home?" That was it, the confirmation I needed. The sect wasn't just stealing his free time. They were stealing his future. I wanted to storm into their meetings, drag him out by the hand, and lock him in his room. But deep inside, I knew that would break him completely. If I forced him, he'd never trust me again. So I needed a plan, a smarter one. I started paying closer attention. The sect members called him constantly, sent him tasks, and even made him hand over small amounts of cash. They told him things like, "Your father doesn't understand because he's stuck in the old world. We're your real family now." Do you know how painful it is to hear your own child say, "You're not my real family anymore"? It cut me deeper than any knife could. I realized this wasn't just about my son. It was a battle for his mind, his heart, his very identity. And the enemy was invisible, but powerful. I had to find a way to win him back before they won for good. One night, he didn't come home. His phone was off. Hours passed, and my mind went to the darkest places. At 3 a.m., I drove to that abandoned building. The lights were on, voices chanting inside. I almost kicked the door down, but instead, I waited outside. Eventually, the chanting stopped, and people began leaving in small groups. Finally, I saw him. My son. His eyes looked exhausted, almost empty. I walked straight up to him. "Son, please come home." He looked at me, silent. For a moment, I thought I'd lost him. But then, a single tear rolled down his cheek. That was my boy, not their puppet. I grabbed him and whispered, "I don't care what you've done or where you've been. You'll always be my son, and I'm not letting you go." That night, he came home. He didn't say much, but for the first time in weeks, he slept under our roof. It wasn't easy after that. Leaving a sect is like leaving an addiction. He struggled. They kept calling. Sometimes he even snuck out to see them. But slowly, with patience, with long talks, and with real love, he began to see the truth. We went to therapy. We rebuilt our trust. It took months, but eventually, he admitted it himself. "Dad, you were right. They weren't saving me. They were using me." I won't lie. I cried that day. Not out of sadness, but relief. I had my son back. If you're a parent, let this be a warning. Talk to your kids, listen to them, and never underestimate how vulnerable they can be. And if you found this story powerful, please hit like, subscribe for more true stories, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen someone get pulled into something dangerous? Because remember, sometimes the scariest battles aren't fought with fists, but with love, patience, and hope.